Hello everyone. So as I told in the Kali Linux, whenever we are doing a lab, so open the terminal, control plus, so that will maximize the text that are appearing in the terminal. Okay. Now, so we are into the Kali Linux home folder. Okay. So we need to get into desktop folder. It's a case sensitive. You need to use the capital D then small e. So if you don't know what is the folder name, just use the ls to list all the folders that are there in this folder. So then use the cd command desktop, go to that and create mkdir lab. Now we will be doing lab 3. Okay, lab 3. So we use this space that will create a two folders, so that's why. So we need to use continuous word, so continuous term. So right now lab 3 will be created on desktop folder. So now you can see also here lab 3 is created, or else directly you can using create folder here lab 4, for example. Right now I am doing that. So go to that folder, right click, open terminal here. That will directly open the terminal into that folder. No need to change the folder. Okay, so this is how you can start with that term work. Okay, for example, we are right now we are doing the lab 3. We'll go to here, right click, open terminal. Now it again opened the lab 3 folder terminal. Okay, so we are into lab 3. So we'll now what is the lab experiment number 3? So it's a fundamentals of network security. Okay, so in that security we have a protocols, firewalls and encryption. Okay, so first here we will learn what is the protocols. So we have so many protocols. What is a protocol? Protocol is a set of rules. So for example, TCP protocol, it works on the three-way handshake. So it starts with a three-way handshake, and then data transmission happens, and then it ends with the three-way handshake only. In the UDP, it's a continuous seamless transaction. Okay, so user datagram, it's a user datagram protocol. So it's a one side. So it sends the packets to the destination whether the destination is available or not. Okay, so like that every protocol has their its own set of rules, so it works on that thing. We have HTTP, it works for the websites. We have HTTPS, it works for the secure website. FTP, it works for the file transfer. And Telnet, it is used to connect the systems in a secure channel. SSH is there, it's also the same thing, just like a Telnet. So some rules are deeper here. Okay, so these are these protocols. Okay, so here we will understand basics of network security protocols and the firewalls and the encryption. In the firewall we have a incoming traffic and the outgoing traffic. Okay, wait, paint. Okay, here In the uh, firewall, okay, okay. Now in the firewall we have income, sorry, incoming traffic and outgoing traffic. In the incoming traffic, so it's coming from the source to destination. Okay. So source may have IP address and port and protocol. Okay. So destination will have IP address, port, protocol. Okay. So now same for outgoing also, from the destination to the source of. Okay. So here right now, as a client, this will send the packets to the server, and the server will respond to the client. Okay. So this is the outgoing, this is the incoming. So we will set the access control protocol, access control, sorry, actually access control list. It's a list, not a tree. It's a list. So we will set the access control list to from which port to which port our traffic should happen, from which port to which port traffic should happen, from which port to which port traffic should not be happened. Okay. So that's what the firewall is. Okay. So I have attached the video to that, you can go through that, so then to understand what is the firewall. So now, so we'll get back to the procedures of the experiment number 3. So we'll continue and complete the process. So here we are using the tools Kali Linux OpenSSL toolset. Okay, in the OpenSSL is a secure sockets layout. Okay, so it is used in the browsers. You can see here, I will show you Google. Every website will use that SSL certificate. Okay, that is used to exchange the data from the server to client. So right now here, when you go to the more site information, you can see the certificates here. So in this is the SSL certificate. Okay, this is the SSL certificate is authorized by the CA, certificate authorization. Okay, so it is given by the CA. Now in the Kali Linux, we are exercising these things. First we will go to the uh, first we will go to the OpenSSL install. We will start installing the OpenSSL into the Kali Linux. We will check the version of the OpenSSL. Then we will use the OpenSSL to generate a certificate, SSL certificate. Okay, it's a self-signed SSL certificate. To authorized by the CA, it may take. So right now we are using the signed SSL certificate to make the SSL certificate. Now we are using this command. Okay, so OpenSSL, it's a tool. We are invoking that tool and we are requesting -x 509. So we'll get into a folder so that it contains the This is the lab number 3. Now we have after installing the OpenSSL, so we are using the uh, OpenSSL to generate a public key, sorry, public key inside the SSL certificate and the private key along with that certificate. Okay, so OpenSSL will request, and then it will use the hyphen X509. It's a certificate code. Okay, so it will generate a self-signed certificate instead of using the CSR. CSR, it's a certificate signature registry. Okay, so now, so instead of using this CSR, we will be generating here only. So it uses the RSA 2048 bit key to generate a private key, and we are using the key out option to get the private key in the location of the folder, and also we are getting the certificate. So once we use the hyphen days, so that will gives the license for that certificate, the validation for that certification, that is the 365, means 1 year. Hyphen nodes will, it doesn't encrypt that. We can also encrypt the private key with the paraphrase. Okay, paraphrase is nothing but the password for that file. Okay, so here we are not using the no DES to encrypt that, so we are using the nodes. So nodes, node ES will do not encrypt private key with the paraphrase. So here, so now X509 hyphen text, hyphen text is used to see the certificate how it looks like. Okay, so the second command is the x5 0, we are seeing the x509, that is the input. Hyphen in is the input command to insert the certificate, and hyphen text, hyphen no out. Hyphen no out means it doesn't output any encoded certificate, it shows it in the text human readable format. Okay, that's what we are doing. We are generating the certificate and we are seeing that certificate. That's what we are doing it in the self-signed SSL certificate generation. Okay, that's for the network security. So for file encryption, we are creating a encoded AES file. So we are using the sample.txt file. So that which contains the CyberShield Lab Experiment 3 string. Okay, so that will be encrypted using the OpenSSL using the ENC. ENC is a keyword to encode, and then we are using the AES 256-bit CBC mode, and then we are inputting that file and we are getting the sample encoded file. So pbkdf, so that is the keyword to get the MD5 file. Okay, default MD5 file. So here we will get the sample.enc encoded using the AES algorithm, AES cipher, and we are getting the MD5 file. So now MD5 will be decrypted using the ENC hyphen D is used to decrypt. Okay, so hyphen AES mean we are explicitly mentioning the what is the algorithm, and we are giving that encoded file, and we are decrypting that. We are getting the output file hyphen out decrypted.txt hyphen pbkdf2. So after doing that, we will be getting the decrypted.txt. So we'll do it, we'll start encoding and then we'll decode it, and we will see the text that is decoded. Okay, so now So we are using hyphen pvkdf2. So without it, OpenSSL uses a weak MD5 for key derivation and shows a deprecation warning. So hyphen pbkdf2 uses a modern secure key derivation function. That's why we are using that term. Okay. So this completes the exercise of the encryption, and OpenSSL certificate will complete the network security section, and then we will have the IP table configurations. In the Linux systems, we will have the IP tables. Okay, so when you check the sudo IP tables hyphen L, that will show all the rules that are set on the Linux system. You can also change the access control list using the IP table command. Okay, here we are allowing port number 22, that is SSH. From we are mentioning the protocol and destination port also. Okay, so we are accepting, that means we are getting the we are accepting that traffic. And then again 23, we are using blocking the telnet. We are dropping the that traffic by using this command. Okay, right now sudo IP tables will invoke the IP table tool, and then hyphen a will append it to input category, input incoming category. Here we are using the hyphen p. It mentions the TCP protocol. Hyphen d port will make you it's a destination port number, which destination port number you are targeting. So hyphen j accept will allow the packets, and hyphen j drop will discard the packet. Okay, so it will not send. So if you are using the telnet, if you want to send the packet, then that will not send. If you are using the SSH, then that will accept it. Means we are blocking the SSH, we are allowing the only. So we are allowing the SSH, we are blocking the telnet. So that's what we are doing here. And sudo IP tables hyphen L hyphen N hyphen V will show the IP tables that in the full numeric and verbose mode. So we are doing that things in the lab 3. So right now we'll start with the installation of the SSL. Sudo apt update, that will update the repository. So sudo apt get update and means this will combine these two at one time. And again I will mention the hyphen y that will say yes to install the files. Okay, so now I'll mention write the password of the Kali. So this will start updating the apt get repository, apt repository. Okay, then it will check the OpenSSL, and that will install the SSL, and it is installed. Now again if you want to see, we can see here. So it shows that it is already installed. It is already installed. Okay, now we have completed with the installation. So we'll check the OpenSSL version. OpenSSL version, using the OpenSSL version. So now you can see the version name again here. So we will be using this command to create a private key and the certificate. Remember that certificate itself contains the public key. Okay, so again private key is used to decrypt that certificate. Okay, so whenever we use the certificate, into the website, private key will be used in the browser. So automatically browser will inject the private key or uses the private key and try to decrypt the certificate. So that will be given by the CA. Okay, certificate authority. Whenever you can also check it here, settings. So security, privacy and security, or else directly check here certificates. Yes, where is that? Advanced no. For every browser settings will be changed, huh? So in the advanced in the which one, connection and software security, in the Mozilla Firefox you will get the manage certificate here. So these are the authorities. Okay, these are the authorities. One, when you download and install the browser, it is already installed, that from where you need to get the certificates. Okay, it's already defaultly it will be given. Okay, so that you don't have any manual work to do that. So for every browser it will be authorized, it will contain a certificate from these authorities, and this browser will have the private keys for that, and this will inject to the private keys to that certificate and try to gain the data from that website. Okay, so now we are using OpenSSL, requesting the X509. We are requesting the RSA 2048 key out and also the certificate for a 1 year. Okay, so here it will ask the country name. So write the country name, IN, the state Karnataka, Karnataka, locality Belagavi, organization name KLSGIT, organization unit same GIT only, common name, write your name, email address, write anything you want. Okay, so this created some files here, you can verify that. So this created a certificate that is encoded with the public key and private key. Now you can cat the private key using cat command that shows the content of that private key file. So this is the private key, RSA private key. So this is the private key. Now, so we, to see the OpenSSL certificate, so details of that certificate, we will be using this command. So that is okay. Wait, here in the PDF you have that thing. OpenSSL X509. We are in hyphen in will insert the certificate, and text hyphen text no out will give you the human readable form. So now certificate, the date is given and the common name, everything is given here. Okay, when you insert this certificate into browser, that will be viewed in a GUI. It's something else. Okay, this contains the public key. As I said, public key information is given here. Okay, so this completes the network security certificate generation. So this is what you will do in the network security. Open using the SSL, you will create the certificate with the private key, and you will view the private key and the public key of that certificate and the information of that certificate, OpenSSL certificate. Now, in the lab 3, again, so here we are creating a file. Here we are creating a file now. So echo command. So what echo command will do? Try to know that. Echo command will display, or it echoes the content. Okay. So when you use echo hello, then that will show you hello in the terminal. When you use any string that is double single quoted inside, then that string will be given here. Okay, so that we will be using echo command to create a file. Okay, so this is the echo command. Cyber Shield Lab Experiment 3 is greater than sample.txt. So this operator will insert this string into this file. Okay, now you can see sample.txt is created, and then you can also see the content of that sample.txt. This is the sample.txt content. Okay, now OpenSSL, we will be using the OpenSSL to encode that file using this command. So OpenSSL enc encode, we will be using this algorithm to encode that. We will be giving this file, and we will getting the output as this sample.enc hyphen pb key df. It's a secure MD5. Now here it will ask you a paraphrase. For example, you can enter your name, okay, or else any string. For now, I will be using A B C D. Okay, so I will verify it again with the A B C D. It's a paraphrase that we are using to encode this sample.txt file. Okay, so you can see here for this sample.txt, after using the SSL encodation, we generated a file that is sample.enc. Okay, so now to view that sample.txt, also uh, to decrypt sample.enc, so we will be using this command, so that which decrypts. For example, if you check here sample dot enc, that shows a random salted hash. Okay, so you can't read this, right? So you can read the sample.txt, that's a UTF file. So we used this thing, and we encoded like this. Okay, this salted contains Cybershield Labs Experiment 3 sentence. So that file will be decoded using OpenSSL command only, that is as OpenSSL encode -d, that is used to decode. ESM algorithm we need to mention, and input file we need to give, and decrypted.txt will be your output. Okay, so here we need to mention a password for that file, because we have encrypted that password into this file, right? What is that? ABCD. Okay, write the ABCD here. So you can't see that, as we discussed in a lab 1 2. So you will not be able to see any password in the Linux. So here, read this thing, enter AES 256 CBC decryption password. Okay, so here we use the encryption password, that is the ABCD. Again, to decrypt that, we need to enter the same password. You can see here, we mentioned different file name. Okay, so that you can see that difference. So we inserted this file, not this file. Okay, encrypted file, and used the password to get this file. So decrypted.txt, at that decrypted.txt you can see the same sentence that is there in the sample.txt. Okay, so we encoded it successfully and then we decrypted it. This is how a encryption works. Yeah. Okay, so this completes the encryption portion. We'll get we successfully generated a certificate and got to know what is a private key, sorry, how a private key looks like, and then we got to know a public key inside the certificate. OpenSSL certificate, how to view the certificate, we use the OpenSSL, and we got to know how a certificate looks like. And in the file encryption, we used the OpenSSL again to encrypt and decrypt. This completed two topics inside the lab 3. Again, one topic is remaining, that is IP tables. So use this command sudo IP tables -l, that will list the IP tables. Okay, first we will clear this. Again, we are in the lab 3. Okay, sudo IP tables -l. So now you can see access control list. We don't have anything. It's a clean Linux system right now. So you can see the accept policy accept list. So it don't have anything. Target is no target is there, protocol options and source to destinations. Okay, nothing is there. So we will be checking this by adding a access control list. For example, I will add append append a control list to the input section. So here input section is mentioned. So if you want to use add it to forward, you will be changing the input to the forward and the output, and also the for the output you will be using output as a term here. Okay, now so once I click enter, this will add control list here. Okay, again, so this will allow the system to only accept SSH. So we mentioned SSH, right? SSH. So this will allow the SSH to transact. So again here I used the 23 port. So this will drop. Again check the IP tables. Now you can see two things are there. One is to accept, one is to drop. Okay. So this is how a firewall table will look like. You can add it in the input, you can add it in the output by changing only this thing, and you can also change the protocol TCP to UDP. You can see here, just change it. So once you list that, you can see here UDP. Okay, So now last command is the sudo ip tables -l -n -v. So this will show all the chains in verbose mode, okay, numericals, okay. So packets, zero packets are transformed other right now. So if you are transacted something, that will be given as a logs here, okay, from any to any. We have not mentioned any source and destination, so we mentioned the port number, so then it's showing the port numbers, okay. To delete that, to delete whatever we added, okay, so we will be using the hyphen d here, okay, hyphen d. You can see the list here, the only two are there because we deleted one. Again here I will use tcp to delete the tcp access control list. You can see here one is there, again two deleted. Now so I will delete this control list, okay. We successfully appended and we successfully deleted the control list. Hyphen d will delete, hyphen a will add or append, okay. Though now is it completes the whole experiment number 3. One, we got to know IP tables. Second, we got to know certification generation. Third, we got to know encryption. We'll jump into fourth one.